I had a request to actually show some vans which you can put motorbikes in the back of. Well, I'm going to have a look at this one here. It is not, I must point out, a van that I recommend people buy, but I can show you the layout. So that is what I'm really doing. So it's a Weinsburg Outlaw Carabus, Carabus 630 MEG, costs 59,000 euros. And what we're going to do, we'll have a look at now. Now, Weinsburg is a cheap brand of Knaus. So if it's a cheaper brand, you know what this means. It's possibly not going to have the same sort of durability and lifetime of another brand, so of the sort of the main brand. That's the possibility. That's what you think. It may not work out that way. Anyway, we'll have a look at what we've got here, because I'm going to take you right to the very back here, and I'm going to show you the upper height. Now, this here, you may say that looks very claustrophobic, but bear in mind there is actually a height limit to the stability of a van. And I certainly wouldn't criticize people for that. But if you are claustrophobic, then obviously this is not for you, and you need to seek some other type of option. But against the claustrophobia, you do have a very big roof light up there. It's colored white, which I think, I don't know much about claustrophobia, but I think that's likely to make you less claustrophobic. I don't know if somebody is claustrophobic, please do correct me on that one, because I don't actually have this problem. And sorry, I mean, I don't know, I have it in a normal way. I don't suppose I'd like some claustrophobic situations, but not being under a van, this wouldn't bother me. So if you do have this too, do make some comments on the situation. So I'll know for the next time. It says here it's got the insulation, which is is designed to get the best way of stopping the what's called a cold bridge. So that's right, when you've got insulation. And so I'll give you an example actually here. Got a bit of insulation here, for example. This isn't insulation; it's a cushion, and you've got a bit of insulation here. I say that, but you've got a gap down there. And that's what's called a cold bridge, if it's genuinely cold and it's insulation. In this case, at that price level, they're not using particularly good insulation. This van is certainly very good in the summer, but it won't be much good if you're thinking of, for example, even sleeping outside. Now it's winter here in Germany, although it's not particularly cold. It might just this year, exceptionally, you might make it. Now, one of the things it's done in this van, which hasn't done in other high ones, is it's actually used the full height of the vehicle. Although when you've got a ladder here, that does make it somewhat more easy. The thing with the ladder, of course, you can't get in the fridge, you've got to take the ladder out, and you can't get in the toilet. Right, so if you've been out in the booze a bit and you're dying to get into the toilet at night, well, you're out of luck, because what you're going to have to do is get down here, you remove the ladder. Of course, it will be easy, you've got two hands, so do it with you not carrying a heavy camera. Put your ladder there, then you can get into the toilet. Now, there isn't a lot of room in this toilet, but bear in mind the habitation area is very small, so you can't complain at that. And it does actually give you the possibility of putting your shower thing up there, and the water will hit you from quite a height, which is unusual in a van. You've got a moulded sink down here, also used in Knaus vans, and you've got this sort of sinky thing down here with this wooden bit. And I hope that wooden bit is watertight, water resistant. Water doesn't get into it, but knowing Knaus, it probably does. So I'm going to hope the whole lot is actually water. I'm going to show you the size of it actually. There's me. I'm trying not to close the door because the light isn't on. There you can see. Can you see how much room there is? You've got all this room. Up here as well. Oh, there you go. Up here as well. Got lots of room. Okay, it's a bit awkward with the toilet sitting there, but you know, okay, it'll get in and out. So if you're a bit overweight, it probably wouldn't be all that good, but you know, there isn't really a lot of room in here anyway. Okay. Okay, I think in here though it does look quite good. I'm no fan of storage up here. I'd rather have the head height as a general rule, but I think in this case I must acknowledge the fact that you know, there's not much in the way of storage. So at the back here, so at the front here I should say, so I do accept that being there for once. Oh, through the fridge as well. There's the fridge. Oops. And down there. I can hear the cleaner going off. Now, if you get the chance to see my other film from this stand this morning, there was not this lady, the other one. She had a go at me when I was actually filming for being here, and she was complaining she has to work a lot. You know, if she has to work a lot, well then perhaps she ought to get another job, or perhaps. But at the end of the day, we are promoting now, so maybe I'm not doing a pretty good job promoting it by pointing out the facts about the company. But so other people are promoting, and there's another person in there doing a film as well. So you might actually, his film, he's a Vincent Camper, and his film, you might want to get a bit of balance, because you might start to see the same things as I do. And anyway, right. So it says here, right. Comfort entry table, and this is comes with the van. It's inseri means it's not an extra. It's tiny. Four people around that, right? That there is smaller than a plate. So it's like, so even a side plate. It's a bit bigger than the saucer. So that's the size of that one there. Right, so you've got 4 saucers around the table. It's all right down a cup of tea or something. You can use saucers, and don't know if anybody ever still does that. But if there are people still do that, then you can do that. Of course, you've got an extension down here, which will be all right if you're sitting down there. But the extension itself isn't going to go very far. Yeah, so I can't get it with one hand. I'm sure it works, so I just can't get it out with one hand. So look at these things here. We'll look down here. Oh, it's a nice deep drawer there. Right, so we've seen the living bit in here. There you've got your electrics, your heater, truma, you've got 5, you've got, what you got, oh, it goes up to 21 amperes, Normally go up to 20, I wonder why. These things here are actually great. A Kippo system is also in the back. They're very, very strong. Got them in my own van. In fact, I had them in my van before anybody else did. Well, any of the main manufacturers did. Right, so you've seen the cramped bit. Let's go into the back, because this is really what is the pièce de résistance. Is you can get 2 motorbikes in here. So that is really what you'd be buying it for. You've got it's called a big storeroom here, but I think the word garage actually really comes out onto its own with something of this nature. So you can huge amount of storage in here. You access via the living quarters. So you know, and you've also even got some more storage down here. Although I think this is the boiler. No, it's electric. Sorry. And I normally say I like to have access to the fuse box from inside the living part, but I suppose in a case like this there isn't a lot of room up front, so you can understand it. And I suppose you really had to, you can sort of come here into the back from in there. So that is the positive side of this, but there's a lot of negatives as well, and I think the negatives outweigh this. Now, there's other companies that do things of this nature, but not on any of the major manufacturers, as far as I am aware. So this is the first one of the major manufacturers to do it. But there are smaller ones who will do things like that, and I shall be showing them in other videos. Now, due to the racket that's on here, totally unnecessarily, because there's a few people now in cleaning, plus me, it's I don't know, it shouldn't be like this. Anyway, don't know, leave it on all night. I'm going to take you for a quick walk around. You can see some of the other vans in here. We've got another high-roofed one here from Weinsburg. In fact, what I'll do is I'll walk around. I'll just show you in a couple inside what they look like. Shouting above the racket. Though I've got to state quite clearly, I do not recommend that you buy the company has gone bankrupt in the past. It may have financial problems again, and I really I think there is an element of risk. At the moment, you know, you put a deposit down for a vehicle, and if the company were to have financial difficulties, then you will lose your deposit. It's that clear.
Morgen.
Good morning. $540 is good length, 6 meters. I mean, sorry, it's a good length. I mean, it's a good length if you want to park the thing. It's a 6 meter van, and right, and another one with a slightly different shape at the top, which I shall now demonstrate. It's got the bed up there, and it's got a bed in the back. Good. Right, okay, so that is the Weinsburg collection coming down here. We'll have a look at this high-roofed one here as well. So you've got these screens on. Some naughty person pulled the plug out of one of them who was making the most racket. I wonder who that could have been. There you go, got a bed up there and down there. But I really like this layout, but I mean, I really do strongly suggest a layout like this. You have a look at the Purcell one instead. So that's it, that's the Weinsburg. More racket. Oh, and so I'll go back to where I started from. Okay, it's now been vacuumed up after my visit, after the mess I left it in. No, actually it must have been cleaned last night, and I cleaned it again this morning, because that, let's face it, was pretty clean inside. So, okay, so I'm going to shout above the racket, and this is me in Stuttgart signing out.